Well, hi there. Come on in. Don't just stand out there. Pull up a chair. No, not just any chair. Come sit with me in one of these old rocking chairs, right here on the back porch, where the breeze is just right. And the stories, well, they've got a life of their own. Hello, this is Bobby Awtrey, and you're listening to Stories and Tall Tales from my back porch rocking chair, where every story has a memory. Every memory has a lesson. And there's always room for one more. Now, today, we've come off the cruise, back in Savannah, back on the rocking chair on the back porch, and we're going to do something just a little different. We're going to talk about something we've all done. Yep, we've all done it. I'm talking about stupid stuff. Oh, don't look at me like that. You know what I mean. Rock a little bit with me. Those moments when you thought you had it all figured out, and it turned out you didn't even have a clue. So sit back, relax, and let me take you back to a time when life was simpler. Brains were a little bit smaller, and the stories, well, they were just getting started. Today, we're going to talk about stupid stuff. Webster's dictionary defines stupid stuff: actions, ideas, or objects that lack good judgment, intelligence, or common sense, often resulting in unnecessary or annoying outcomes. It generally is characterized by foolishness, senselessness, get this, or a failure to act in one's own best interest. And I don't know about you, but back in the late 1950s and early 60s, when I was going from a youngster to a teenager, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have smartphones. We had party lines. Ooh, that's another story. We did not have video games. And we didn't have all of the distractions of these modern day cartoons and agendas. We only had our little overly active little brains that had to stay busy doing something. I'm not sure about you, but for me, my brother Buddy, and our respective friends, well, Buddy's gang, my club, 80% of the time, what we ended up doing fell in the category of stupid stuff. Things that were borderline illegal or bad, but in most cases didn't quite cross the line, other than to get us in trouble if we got found out. Or sometimes we would do things that would scare us to death if just stupid, and never attempted to do it again. This, my friends, was called the School of Hard Knocks, laying the groundwork for life. In these modern days, it is simply called experience. So let me take you back to one of those memories of growing up in the 50s and 60s and making sure we got full 24 hours out of each day. As we figured, how do you spend time doing stuff unless somewhere along the way you do a little bit of stupid stuff? Now, not all stupid stuff requires multiple people. There were many times I could just do it all by myself, just trying to show off. Well, today's story, here's an example. Sit back, pick up that sweet tea. Let's relax a little. This was way back when I was around 8 to 14 years old, somewhere in those areas. I was pretty much a skinny little runt back then. Not sure if it was all caused from those days of having polio, but I was skinny, and I had a sunken chest cavity. Now, that meant I wore a shirt 99% of the time. Whenever I took my shirt off around other kids, they all laughed and called me silly names like, "Oh, look over there, there's Cave Boy." Well, Cave Boy, meaning sunken chest and weird. So I didn't want them laughing at me. So guess what? I just kept my shirt on. We would all go down to the swimming hole. I kept my shirt on. We would play football and we didn't have uniforms, so we'd simply take our shirts off, and one team would be called Skins and the other one Shirts. Guess which team I played on? Right. Shirts. Well, that brings me to my first stupid stuff story. As I have mentioned many times before, from the time I was a little bitty baby boy, I have always enjoyed knowing the difference between boys and girls, and as such, was always trying to impress the girls, which very seldom turned out in my favor in those days. And I may have been skinny, but one thing I could do is run. And have to admit, pretty fast for my age and physical structure. And when it came time to play football, running fast, running fast kind of put me in a better position than some of the others. So I would get picked on the shirt side and get to run fast. And I'd run down the field, and they would throw the ball to me. Then came the problem. I could run, but I could not catch that ball very well. So the guys would get mad at me, and the girls, well, they would laugh at me. So I knew I had to find a better position. So I tried around different things and different ways of playing offense, defense, on and on. And as time passed and I got a little bit older and moved from the old schoolyard ragtag football to organized city or county peewee football, and then eventually finally made it to high school, junior varsity football. Not the varsity, but still. High school junior varsity football. I was still never really good, but still pretty fast. So I ended up making it to the defense and played the linebacker position, which meant the other team would get the ball. And if they ran it, I would have to run over and try to tackle the guy with the ball. Well, that didn't work so well. Did I mention to you? Back then, I was skinny. The running backs and what we call fullbacks were super big boys. And I could run real fast over to tackle them. But they simply hit me, knocked me for a loop, and they just kept on going. The coaches hollered at me, and the girls laughed at me. This just wasn't working out in my favor. Well, our team was a pretty good team overall. I got to stay on the team, but I mainly sat on the bench, and I hollered support to the guys on the field. Now, I got to wear the team sports shirt and team jacket and sweater, and on Fridays at school, everybody treated the football players differently than the other students. And the girls, they liked football players, especially if you ask one of them to go steady with you. Because you see, well, if you went steady with a girl, she got to wear your leather sweater or jacket. And that made her special And that would make you a happy boy. Well, our team this particular year made it all the way to the playoffs, and we were in the final game. It was a big one for the school, for the championship. It was awesome. Well, during practice 2 days before the big game, our first-string linebacker, Barry, listen to me now, Barry Timber, that was his name, Timber. He injured his leg and was just barely able to walk, much less run. So reluctantly, the coach said, "Bobby, get over here. Barry may not be able to play the game on Saturday. And I have no choice than to have you ready to jump in and take his place. So, boy, you listen to me. You watch his every play. You watch his every move. And you better pray. If you go in, boy, you can live up to his standards and be ready to help us win this championship, son. You gotta be ready." Whew. Well, I was thinking, this is it. My big chance to be big man on campus. Visions of being lifted up and carried over the field and cheered. Oh, that was all going through my head. And this was even before the coach finished talking his prep talk to me. Ooh. Well, the next day and a half, I was all puffed up. I was ready. Heck yeah, I was ready. I kept watching for Barry, watching what he did, watching how he ran, watching what he was doing, watching how he got to rinse out his mouth when the boys went out there with them little bottles and pushed him up there. And after practice, one more day, I had my mom wash and bleach my uniform. I even polished my shoulder pads and helmet. You rocking? Hey, you got to get this picture now. I put that uniform on about 10 times in my room. Now, come on. This was back in the 50s and 60s when if you were not on the varsity team, you had to take care of your own uniforms, not like teams these days. And I was looking like I should be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Not the swimsuit edition. But man, I was looking good. And as I pranced around my room and was kind of looking in the mirror and doing all the poses, I noticed I was having problems with my socks. They were limp. Didn't look like no football player standing there with limp socks. They wouldn't stay up on my legs. I was skinny after all. And they kind of drooped over my shoes. Oh, rats. That didn't look cool at all. Oh well, I'll just have to run so fast nobody'll notice. Got undressed, got everything all bundled together and ready for the big game tomorrow. Laid back on that bed, closed them baby brown eyes. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be real cool. Off to sleep. Saturday morning came. The time was there, and we all got together in the locker room. And the coach came in to give us the big build-up. "Well, boys, we've come a long way, and I'm proud of you. And I know we've trained hard. I know some of you not like me a whole lot through all of this, but hopefully, boys, you've learned hard work, discipline, and the right diet and exercise. And a great coach have brought you to this point, and we are ready. We're ready. Boys, we're ready to win. We're ready to be the champions. Let's go and show them who we are. And everybody, yeah, we go. We're going to get them, yeah. So we ran out onto the field. And the coach came over to me, and he said, all right, Bobby, Barry's looking pretty strong today, and he's ready to play. But I want you to stay prepared. You watch what he does, boy. How he plays the offense, looking over him, watches how those backs are moving, where they're headed, what's going on. And if you need to go in, I want you ready. You understand, young man? To which I said, I'm ready, Coach. And I started to run and take my place on the bench. But as I started heading over, the coach hollered at me again. He said, Bobby, get those socks up, boy. To be ready, you need to look ready. So I went over to the bench, and the game started. Whew. It was a hard-fought game, folks. They would score. We'd get the ball, we would score. They had big guys, fast, hit hard. But so did our team. Back and forth, time's running, all this half ends, and we're still all tied up. Head to the locker room. All those guys was wore out. They were tired. They were throwing their helmets down. They was doing all that stuff. I still had a clean uniform on. Well, about that time, the coach said, all right, it's come down to these last 2 quarters. But our hard practice, those late nights, and staying physical, boys, that's what's prepared us for just this situation. Now let's go win this game. And we all ran back out on the field to get the job done. Ooh, the 4th quarter was just as hard as those first 2, back and forth, up and down the field. Oh, nobody scored. It was still tied at the end of the 3rd. Still tied, but still alive and ready to win. We started playing. Time's going by, back and forth, tied. Then it happened. The other team was going deep. It was a long pass. I was watching Barry. Barry was staying stride to stride with their tight end. The ball was up. Barry jumped at the very last moment and intercepted the ball. And he took off running way back toward our score line. And he was running. And here he goes. It had been tied 28-28 all this time. And there was only 1 minute and 38 seconds left in the game. And now, Barry crosses the goal line. And we're ahead. Everybody was screaming. The crowd was going wild. The coach was trying to calm everyone down. Barry came off the field limping, out of breath. Oh, the team was hugging him, jumping up and down. And then Barry just collapsed to the ground, holding his leg, saying, oh, it hurts. Oh, Coach, it hurts. Oh. And the coach came over to check on him. The crowd, they were, oh, no. But yet all of a sudden the other team was cheering. Oh, no. And all of the excitement. We missed the extra point. And now we were only 6 points ahead, and we had to kick them the ball. Everything was a blur about then. The coach was trying to get everybody back on the field and ready to go, and the kickoff team goes out, and we kicked the ball. And they caught it, and they started running back, and the guy's coming. Oh, and he's up to the 45-yard line and gets tackled, and their offense went running on the field, and our defense went running on the field. That is everybody but Barry. And we only had 10 players on the field. And the coach started yelling, "Where's Bobby? Where's Bobby?" And he had to call our final time out because Bobby was sitting on the bench. The coach come running over and snatched me up, and he told me to put my helmet on and get my butt onto that field. Don't let him down. Well, are you rocking? Whew. I got my helmet on and I went running onto the field. Nobody could really see. I had a big smile on my face. Ready. Oh, man, was I ready. Woo, I'm running out there. Here we go. First play. It was a running play. Woo, but it was to the other side of the field. I went running over. But by the time I got there, the play was over. The guy had only gained about 3 yards. The clock was ticking. The crowds were hollering and screaming. When it was down, less than a minute remained. Second down. Boom. A run up the middle. I went running over, but the guy was already tackled. And all of us defensive guys were high-fiving each other and getting back to our positions. The other team called a timeout. The coach, he called all of us boys over, and he looked at us. "Y'all be ready, boys. It's third down. Now, it's probably going to be a pass. You linebackers," that included me, "you linebackers, you play back. Don't you let them get past you. You got to hold them from a first down. They can't make it, boys. You got to get in there. You got to get tough. You can do it." Well, whistles blew, and we all went back out on the field. The importance of this play then hit me. Wow. I'm actually out here. I'm in the championship game. I'm playing. Everybody's watching. This is so neat. Go, look over there. All them girls are watching, and they're watching me. Well, I was kind of out there looking around. Then I heard the coach holler at me, "Be ready, Bobby. Keep your head in the game, boy." The play started. It was going to be a pass. Their quarterback was scrambling. I was watching. I was looking left and I was looking right. I was running around trying to be sure that nobody could get behind me. Oh, come on. Oh, it just seemed like forever. Our defensive line, they finally got back to the quarterback and they tackled him for a loss. Oh, my goodness. Everybody, the coach called their final timeout. 12 seconds left on the clock. 12 seconds left on the clock. We huddled up. The coach was so excited. The fans, they were so excited. The team was so excited. Guess I should say it now. I was excited. One more play. No more timeouts. The championship and us winning came down to one more play. We all ran back on the field. Oh, man. The teams lined up. The ball was snapped. The quarterback drew back to pass. The guy came my way. He turned and he ran across the middle. The guy from their team on the other side of the field ran down and he made a turn back toward my side. I was running. He was running. The crowd was yelling. The coach was hollering. The other team members were hollering. I had my eyes on him. The ball was in the air. The guy had turned down the middle and was wide open. I was running. He caught it. And he was almost in my reach, and I was running as fast as I could. Everybody in the stands were standing up, jumping, screaming. I could feel the rush of wind coming from him in front of me. Stride for stride down the field, the 20-yard line. Oh, I'm almost there. Oh, 15-yard line. So close. Time seemed to almost stop. I just knew I could catch him. I knew I could do it. I could see him in my grasp, and then the stupid thing hit. Yep. Right there. At the end of the biggest game I had ever played. The opportunity of a lifetime. All the planets were lined up. And my stupidity caught up with me. Remember me telling you about my socks? Remember them sagging and falling down over my shoe tops? Remember the coach saying, "Bobby, be ready. You need to look ready." Well, I had gone over to the bench and I had taken some rubber bands and I slipped them over my socks and used them to keep those socks in place where I could look good. Gotta look good. And I did. Except after being tight on my legs, holding those socks in place for all that time, those rubber bands had cut off the circulation in my legs. And at exactly 2 seconds left in the game, with the other team running down the field on the 10-yard line, with me in a finger's length of grabbing the foot of the runner and bringing him down short of the goal line. My legs gave out. I simply went to the ground. No one had touched me. I had not tripped. I simply lost the use of my legs due to the circulation from the rubber bands cutting the circulation off. I hit the ground. The other team scored. They tied the game and kicked the extra point with 0 time on the clock. And they won the championship. My football career was over. I never got to play high school football. Never got to be on the varsity. I even had my football sweater thrown on the ground. No longer got special treatment. I did get the cold shoulder. And the last thing the coach ever said to me was, "Bobby, how could you do something so stupid, boy?" God. Oh, I'm rocking. I hope you are. You know, we laugh about those moments. But the truth is, it's those stupid things, those mistakes, those embarrassing times. That's where God was shaping us, teaching us, humbling us, and giving us stories that would one day connect us to somebody else who needed to know they're not alone. So add that to my list of stupid things, of which there are many. But I did learn a good lesson from it. I may not be able to play football very well, but I can tell a great story about it. And that's just one more story from the Stupid Stuff Files, from this old rocking chair where we've all been there and we're still learning. Well, now, I told you we get into some stupid stuff today. And if you're smiling right now, it's probably because along the way, you remembered a story of your own. You know, those moments we laugh about today, those embarrassing, head-shaking, what was I thinking type of times, that's where life was teaching us. That's where God was shaping us, not just into who we are, but into someone who can look back and smile and maybe help someone else along the way. Because the truth is, we've all tripped over our own rubber bands at some point. But somehow, God never wasted a single one of those moments. And now, they've become a part of our story. From this old rocking chair, that's what it's all about. This is Bobby Awtrey. Hey, don't forget to drop us a line. Be sure and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for dropping by. I'll see you next time, because there's always room for one more.